I'm Rob Licuria, Senior Editor at Gold Derby, here with Rennie Barbato, Executive Producer on the Emmy-winning smash RuPaul's Drag Race and Untucked, and the whole damn empire. Rennie, congratulations on yet another Emmy nomination for Drag Race and Best Competition Program and Untucked in Unstructured Reality Program. You must be so thrilled.
Totally thrilled, and we feel super blessed.
Yeah, I'm sure you do. So like, I mean, I know this stuff never gets old, but you know, Drag Race has won 4 years in a row. Untucked finally won last year after so many nominations. And Mama Ru, she's won 6 years in a row for reality host. So how does it feel for you and the entire team to be so enthusiastically embraced by the Academy?
I think for all of us, there's a little bit of like, wait, is this real? You know, we all, so many people who work on RuPaul's Drag Race have worked on RuPaul's Drag Race since the beginning or shortly thereafter. It is a big family here that works on it, and we're incredibly passionate, and we love our job. So to be recognized and celebrated is like icing on the cake. It really is, because we all work so hard, because we're so inspired by the queens and this idea of them, you know, working on a show where we can share them and their talents with the world. I mean, I can't think of a better job, actually.
Yeah, and another huge milestone, World of Wonder, which you founded with Fenton Bailey, celebrated its 30-year anniversary last year. So congratulations on that huge milestone.
Thank you. We're ancient.
I don't want you to feel old, but we're old.
No, but you know, World of Wonder has been around for quite a long time. And we've been working with RuPaul that whole time. I mean, there is this, there's a history to what we do, and Drag Race is kind of the pinnacle of it in many ways. But so much of our work is about this idea of trying to create platforms for people, ideas that are often marginalized or misunderstood by the public at large.
Yeah, well, actually, let's get slightly serious for a sec, because as I've mentioned to a few of your colleagues, you know, we're living in really perilous times right now. We're in a very deeply divided cultural landscape where the LGBTQ community is for some reason under attack from political forces, drag queens in particular, of all groups. It's the drag queens that they want to attack now. What are your thoughts on how this show is so vital in a moment like this that we're living in?
I think that it's sad to see what's going on, and it's sad to see desperate political figures grasping at straws to try and make noise or to try and distract people from the reality that already exists, which is the world is moving on. We're progressing. We're opening our minds. We're opening our arms. We're embracing one another. And that is a threat to a very small group of people, but a very loud group of people. For us, like, rather than engaging in that fight, we just keep doing what we're doing. And we encourage people to vote all the time. Vote, yeah. Vote. You know, in America, just what happened yesterday in Kansas just makes me have, or continues my faith in the forward progression of you know, America's sort of values and good stuff.
Yeah, I love it how every episode when Mama Ru says let the music play, there's always a little placard about voting. Like, we notice that stuff, and that's really important. You've got a platform, you might as well at least throw a few little crumbs out there if you can. So
yeah, I mean, I also think just in general, the existence of this show and what this show stands for, it's political. Like, its DNA is political.
Yeah.
And sometimes that can have more impact than, you know, wall-to-wall preaching. It's just the existence and the humanity of of our queens that are contributing to to progress.
Yeah. John Sarge Schneider, or AKA Wintergreen, the camera operator extraordinaire from the show, likened the contestants to superheroes, which I really love. I've never really thought of it that way, but he's totally right. Do you often get caught up in the superheroes' drama, spectacle, and most importantly, that emotional weight of their very interesting stories that they are telling so honestly and openly on the show?
Yeah. First of all, I would include Wintergreen as one of those superheroes, but yeah, like it's hard not to get caught up in it. And I will say the one not good thing about COVID, but like we had to isolate, so we're not all in the same control room, because there are times in the control room where there is not a dry eye in the control room, and everyone's just sort of, looking the other way. So at least you can cry freely or without, not that there would be any judgment on this set, but the weeping can be a little louder now that we're isolated and in COVID.
Yeah. And what about, I was really interested when Tom Nicol, one of your colleagues, producers on the show, that when it's time for the lip sync battles at the end to lip sync for their lives, that people are ripping off their equipment and earpieces because they get really caught up in that drama. Like, I used to think lip sync battles was something so frivolous until I got into the show and realized, no, that is, the stakes are damn high, because one of them have to sashay away. It's huge.
Oh my God, it as you get deeper into each season, and this is always happens. Number one, you don't know what's going to happen. And we do fall in love with the queens, all of them. And every episode, the deeper it gets, the deeper the deeper the cuts are, the deeper, the heartache, the slower it is before people step out of their trailers after the decision is made on who's staying, but more importantly, who's going home, because it really is, it's always devastating.
Yeah.
Having said that, though, unlike any other competition show, and I'm not to sort of brag or anything like that, but like it really, for these queens, it doesn't matter if they win or not. Their legacy, they can walk away on the third episode or the second episode and walk into a career that's got legs. So at least there's that. But when we're actually shooting it, it is very emotional.
Yeah. I mean, isn't Shea Coulee about to star in a Marvel series? Like, I mean, really, that's brilliant. And Kerry Colby, she was 9th overall in the last season. And she said when she came out in her transgender dress that she wanted to be a viral sensation. Well, guess what? She really is. It's incredible. It's amazing. I was just going to ask you about your highlight from the season. Everybody has one. I know that there's a lot to choose from. Is there something in particular from season 14 of Untucked, or season 13 of Untucked, 14 of the regular series, that you just were really, really proud of?
Well, I mean, Moulin Rouge is just epic. So every moment of Moulin Rouge delivers.
Yeah.
And
Camden with a mustache. I mean, you can't really get better than that.
Yeah. I really loved I also loved, it's not a moment, it's the whole finale episode. It was great. It was great to be out and shooting in Las Vegas. And it was great seeing the girls there. And also, by the way, Jasmine went on to perform in Drag Race Live, in Vegas. So
yeah,
watching, actually, it was one of my favorite moments. Actually, might be the end of the taping of the Vegas finale, and all the girls were on the stage. And I'm pretty certain Jasmine Kennedy said to me, "I wanna perform on this stage. I want to be in this show." And it wasn't because she said that, but it just worked out that way. And she went on to perform in Drag Race Live at the Flamingo. So It was a pretty magical moment.
You know, I often say to people, it's one of my philosophies, is like you can actually manifest things. If you work at it and you really, really want something, you can make it happen. And that's a really great example. You know what? Untucked is a really great change of pace. I learned this morning that in the beginning from season 1, when there wasn't really an Untucked, you were looking at a little monitor and saying, this is a show. And I think that's what spawned this great offshoot that where we really learn about who these people are. So credit goes to you for that one.
Yeah, well, all of it is, it takes a village for all of it. But yes, in the first season, the girls used to untuck for physical comfort in a hallway. And we did have a camera there, and we didn't really know how we were going to incorporate that into the show, but it was the beginning of the birth of Untucked. And, you know, World of Wonder and Fenton and I, we built World of Wonder. We're documentary filmmakers. That's what we do. And that's how we started World of Wonder. So Untucked sort of carries that tradition on, because it is more raw, and it's, you don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, and look,
season 14, there's so many spectacular moments in Untucked, but that moment where Jasmine Kennedy reveals and shares her, you know, the fact that she's trans was an unbelievable moment for everyone in the room and everyone in the control room. I mean, it really was like one of those moments that I couldn't even explain. It just really, I will never forget that moment.
Yeah, because if you're really cynical, you could be like, oh, was this scripted? Is it all staged? But it wasn't. No. And what were you thinking when, I mean, did you even know that this was going to happen?
No. And you know what? We don't know we don't know. It's so funny because sometimes, but most of the time I don't read some of the comments and read some of the stuff. And there's so many conspiracy theories, we don't know what's going to happen. We don't know what's going to happen any time. Like, where there are surprises right and left. Certainly that was a huge surprise. And even just the fact that I think there might have been 5 trans women who were on this season, including Willow Pill, who was the winner. Like, I love that. I love how special and magical that was. And by the way, how that unfolded while we were making the show. And I think it really did also contribute to this incredible connection this season 15's cast had, and also an incredibly deep and emotional connection RuPaul had with this cast. I think it's weird, but it was really deep. I think he felt protective. I think he felt engaged. And it also may be that as we do more of Drag Race, Ru becomes more, he's the first one to set and the last one to leave. And he becomes more embedded and connected in his own way, you know, while keeping it professional. But I think he had a real emotional connection to season 15.
That's why, I mean, one of the reasons why RuPaul keeps winning Emmys is because what he's doing on the series it comes across very genuine and very real, and he's also extremely funny. My highlight from the show every week is just listening to the catty one-liners when the queens are walking down that runway, Michelle and Ru, and they're laughing and making jokes. I live for that. So that's a drug for me. And so, I mean, what's the best thing about working with RuPaul?
Oh my God, I love him. Like, the best thing about working with him is his heart. I mean, he's funny. He's a walking encyclopedia of pop culture. He works really hard. He's got a monitor with all in his dressing room. He's completely plugged in as a producer. He lovingly pushes everyone to work, to work hard and make things better. But the number one thing I think is his heart. It's real and it's deep, and that's at the that's the engine of this show.
Yeah, and you can tell. And speaking of the trans representation, last season we had Got Me because that's a trans man, and we had 5 trans contestants, well, they're characters too, on this season. And also we even had Maddie Morphosis, the first cisgender male, straight male on the season as well. Like, what's the intention behind really mixing up the kind of different groups of people within the queer community that we're bringing to this show? Because it's really starting to open our eyes to all the different colors.
There isn't really an intention. Like, the show is cast based on the people who we find most interesting and compelling and the most talented. And it's funny, like Maddie Morphus is an example of someone who auditioned for several years. And really, literally, this past year, we all looked at his tape and it's like, oh, it's Maddie Morphus again. But we're like, wow, he needs to be on the show. He was at a different level. He was ready. So it wasn't like, oh, we need a straight guy. We need X number. It doesn't work like that. It's more like, who moves us and who's ready to and who deserves the platform.
Yeah. So each season has different challenges. Sometimes we miss out on certain challenges. We generally get Snatch Game every season, which is usually a highlight. I was really happy that Snatch Game didn't go so well in season 14 because we got the Lollapalooza out of it. I'm hoping we get more Lollapaloozas because the more lip syncs, the better. That's my view. What do you think?
I think Drag Race it's like a living thing. It's so unpredictable. It really is. And I totally agree. Lip sync Rula Palaz.
Yeah, I can't even say it.
That was so exciting. And I think there will be more, but I think it is truly a living, breathing thing. And we all, we figure it out every year. We try and reinvent it and blow it up a little. And season 15 was no exception. But season 15 is so special and maybe more, I wouldn't say it's more special than any other season, but it really, like, there was something about the energy and connection of the cast this season that it was truly a deep emotional journey.
Yeah. Are you aware that a lot of people online rank the seasons, including All Stars and UK and Down Under and all of them? There's so many.
Oh, no.
And yeah, and like everybody has their opinions. Like I can't remember if it's 6 or 7. The one with Courtney Act is probably the greatest ever.
Oh yeah.
That was amazing. All Stars 2
and Bianca. And
really, like, what a cast. Then you got All Stars 2. That was brilliant. And I really loved 13. That was the one with Candy Muse.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, really great. So, like, do you ever have a favorite, or is it just you would never pick one out?
I would never. Each one is, you have one kid, or how many kids do you have?
2. I have a daughter as well, so we
okay. So think of it like that.
Yeah.
And you love them both, and they're both different and unique, but you just love them both so much. And that's the way I feel about Drag Race.
Fair enough. On that note, congrats again on the Emmy, love. Good luck next month. We hope to see you on the red carpet, and congrats once again.